You can now build awesome view transitions inside of Next.js App Router. Now, view transitions in Next.js App Router are incredibly hard to do so. So, in this specific video, my goal is to show you how you can implement it in a very easy way. For instance, we are going to use a library called as NextViewTransitions to add view transitions and not only add simple transitions but also add custom animations as well. But first, what are view transitions? View transitions are essentially a browser API that basically tells the browser that you're about to update the DOM. The browser then takes a screenshot of the current page, runs a function that you provide that updates the DOM. Once the function is done executing, animations are then run from the old DOM to the new DOM. That basically shows you the effect that the transition has occurred. So next, View Transitions library really makes it seamless for us to implement it. In this specific app is where we're going to add the view transition. It's a very simple app that uses React 19 and Next.js 15. So we are going to add view transitions in this specific app. And it lists a bunch of courses. So these are all the courses that I currently have or I'm planning to create, such as the React Native course. But let's say we transition from one course to the other. If I click on it, it immediately goes to enroll in course. If I go to home, then it immediately goes back to home as well. And the transitions are pretty abrupt. It goes from one page to the other. If I go to developer to leader, again, the same thing and so on. So what we're going to do is let's add a view transition here. So first we can just install view transitions. We can just install next view transitions by installing the specific package. And then if we head over to the code, let's head over to the layout file. This is the file that wraps your entire application. And this is the root layout file that has the HTML and body elements inside of Next.js. What we are going to do is uncomment this code, which has the view transitions wrapped around it. What this does is it enables the view transitions from the library. And now we are going to use view transitions from Next View Transitions right here, which wraps your entire layout, which means it wraps your entire application. But if you notice, React 19 breakdown, which is what we see over here in the header in the navigation, is in fact using a link component. So what the next view transition is going to do is it's going to provide its own link component instead of the link component that exists in Next.js. It basically just extends the existing Next.js link component and adds view transitions to it, so we can just simply use it and we get transitions right away. So for instance, we're just gonna import link from next view transitions here, and then everything else stays the same because it's literally the same API. Now, the other thing we are going to do is as the user navigates from one course to the other, we are also going to add view transitions here. So here, let's just go back to the page. And now we are just mapping through a list of courses, which is right here, all these different courses, and we're just looping through them. And here we are also using the link component to navigate from one page to the other, where we just go to a dynamic route here inside of Next.js. We also use a link component here from NextLink. We're going to comment this out and uncomment this code, which again imports link from next view transitions. And that's it. That's all we need to do to add view transitions here. Now, if we just simply refresh the page, and now if we click on modern full stack Next.js course, you can see how cool the animation was. Let's take a look at it again when I click on the navigation link component. When I do that, similarly, you can see how slick the animation was. And this is make it very simple to implement. Now, all of this is great. The fact that you use the link component from Next View Transitions, you can just simply get the view transitions itself. But what about you want to add some custom animation? Because right now it's pretty much fade in and fade out animations here. What if you want to add something custom, wherein you can slide in and out? So let's say when the user enrolls in a specific course. So let's just take my dog's name here, and if I hit enroll course, now you can see this really slick slide animation. That's a custom animation that I have already created with this specific package, and let me show you the code. So for instance, if we head over to slash courses page, and this is where we are rendering that enrollment form that we saw, it is simply a component. And here we have a lot of code. And the code that we should really focus on is this handle submit, because the minute the form is successfully submitted is when we wanna push the user to the next page. And this is where we wanna add the custom transition itself. So for instance, we have router. Again, router is not coming from next router. It's in fact coming from this new hook, which comes from NextViewTransitions itself, which exports use transition router, which we are using here. Again, it extends the existing use router hook from Next.js, so we can just simply use it. And then we can just do router.push. And this is where we can add the custom transition that we are looking for. So on transition ready is the function, is the property we want to call, and then pass in a custom function that which defines the animations that we are looking for. So if you take a look at slide in and out function, this is where we are essentially animating, which is creating that effect that it goes out of the screen, which is it goes out of the screen. So this is where we are creating that nice effect where we are defining the animation here itself, where basically goes out of the screen and then come back in the screen, which is like a slide in, slide out animation itself. So then we are passing in the ease and also the duration for how slow or fast we want the animation to be. So if you take a look at it again, if I go back here and now if I again enter my dog's name and his email address, and let's say we hit enroll now, watch what happens. You can see how the animation is sliding out that we just defined. This is how you can simply just define custom transitions and animations inside of Next.js using the View Transition API itself. And it helps really reduce the cognitive load for our users, helping them to stay in context, and it also reduces the perceived loading latency as they move between states or views of your application. Animations really help you to do that as you transition from one state to the other. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, and if you want to know how else you can add transition animations inside of Next.js, in that case, check out this specific video, which you will love, where you will learn how you can add a completely new way to add transitions inside of Next.js. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye for now.